Hey, it's Eve from Class with Prof. Eve. I am making this video in a slightly different setting. As you can see, I am in my car waiting to pick up my son from school. But I wanted to talk a little bit about some realizations I've had related to academia and my subject matter, and using that knowledge outside of educational institutions, outside of academia. Now, as some of you know, and some of you are new, but I've been teaching for nearly 20 years at the 2- and 4-year college level, mostly at the 2-year college level, where I've been at one institution for nearly 17 years now. I'm at my 16th year currently. And I taught part-time for 4 years before I got this full-time position. So I've been in academia for a long time. All of my jobs were on campus as well. So that has really been my life. That's been my professional life and my academic world. And so up until recently, which is shocking when I think about this, but up until recently, I hadn't really thought about the way that I can use my knowledge of sociology, my expertise in sociology, which is the discipline that I teach, how I could use that in other areas of my life and just to support people in general and to provide services in general. And sociology is always timely. You know, it's the study of human society, the study of social structures and social systems, of inequalities and social relations and just all of those different things. So it always has a place in the conversation about what's happening, right? Whether it's present day or history, or even, predictions about the future. Sociology has all of that, and it makes it very unique as a discipline in that way. So, we're in the 21st century. We are in the year of 2026 now. And sociology, I think, is more relevant than it's ever been, for providing insight and informed analysis about what's happening in the world, and also being able to synthesize different things that are happening in the world, make connections between things that have happened historically and what's happening presently. And, again, as some of you may know and some of you may not know, I am, exploring coaching and consulting as a service that I provide to people and to organizations and businesses. And I really think that sociology is so useful for those things. When it comes to self-development, there's obviously a lot that needs to be understood about a person's psychology, about their mindset, and all those sorts of things. But I also feel that it's really important to connect that to social systems, to what's happening externally. Even if we look at our personal relationships, our relationships with family members, our children, people we work with, those things can be understood from a sociological perspective when we understand socialization, right? How we come to learn behaviors and learn our expectations for ourselves and for other people, and the expectations of our lives, whether that be obtaining a college degree or buying a house or whatever these things are. We call them norms in sociology, behavioral expectations. So sociology provides such, insight into those different dynamics and helps us to comprehend, the origin of our beliefs and values, how those things have actually been shaped by our families, people around us, in childhood and our upbringing. And actually, it's constantly happening. Socialization doesn't end in childhood. It continues until death, essentially. Every day, every moment, we're having a unique experience, and those experiences teach us new things, and they shape us. They shape our lives in different ways. And so every day is a new socialization experience. And certainly if you're taking on a new role or a position, and not necessarily just formal ones, it could be informal ones like becoming a wife or husband or parent, or a virtual assistant, or a CEO at a company, whatever that is. It takes the adoption of a new identity, and with that new identity comes behavioral expectations, tasks that you're supposed to, carry out, and all those sorts of things. So sociology really helps you to get into the weeds of all of that, the details, and really give you a broad and full picture of whatever it is that you're studying. So it's taken me, I guess, 20 years to come to the realization that sociology has so much significance outside of academia. And in some ways that's been apparent, like when I look at research studies and, a lot of news reports and all these different things, they do draw from sociological research. They specifically name sociologists and sociological research studies in many of these reports. Sociologists work as consultants in many organizations. And so there is a presence, but I think more explicitly saying that, because it's kind of hidden. Unlike psychology, which I think is a lot more popular, a lot more present in popular culture, sociology isn't like that. It's a part of like everything, I think, but it doesn't have the visibility and the awareness that psychology has. And frankly, I don't think that most people understand what sociology is. If you haven't taken a sociology class, a lot of people don't understand what sociology is. And even if you have taken a sociology class, if you've taken like Social 101 or something like that, there's so much more to learn, beyond that. We offer all kinds of different classes in sociology, so it just has so much depth. And I'm learning, the new things still 20 years later. I learn new things all the time about sociology and ways of thinking about things from a sociological perspective. So I've just gained a new appreciation of sociology, and now, I'm really going to figure out ways to directly and explicitly incorporate it into the other projects I'm working on, the other types of work that I do, because it does add a unique and very valuable perspective, in those areas as well. So that's all that I wanted to really discuss in this video, but I encourage you to think about what you studied in college or what you've been studying, especially things that you've studied formally in educational institutions, in those kinds of formal settings. Maybe it was even a certificate or something that you got. That knowledge probably expands beyond, that institution and beyond use in that particular place. So think about ways that you can contribute your particular knowledge in different things that you do, or different support or services that you could offer people, because I bet there's something there for you too, even if you're not a sociologist. So thanks for watching this video, and I will see you all again soon. Subscribe, like, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.